Ready? This is the intro.
2B5's Morse Diggs.
Fox 5's Morse Diggs.
Morse Diggs.
Fox 5's Morse Diggs joins us now live.
Matt, we're coming up. Get ready. I mentioned my name, right? I'm Morse Diggs. I'm Morse Diggs. I'm Morse Diggs at Atlanta City Hall. I'm Mary Norwood at the Norwood head. I'm not Mary Norwood. I've never been Mary Norwood. My name is Morse Diggs.
Love that moment.
That's funny stuff.
Yeah. Well, today is the end of an era here at Fox 5 Atlanta. After more than 4 decades, Morse Diggs is retiring after 41 years here.
And tonight we take a look back at his career. Morse joins us now in the studio. It's great to have you here. I did a back of the envelope calculation. You've probably done something like 10,000 stories. So let's begin with a thank you for your excellence over all these years.
Well, thank you very much. I've been around so long, I figure I can do some Rodney Dangerfield jokes or something. You know?
Gosh, what a career you've had, though. I mean, talk about that. Some of the stories you've covered, it's like you've had a front seat to history throughout all of these years.
Yeah, there's some memories of some mega political figures, and I want to go over a couple of them, stories that never made the news. So Andrew Young, the Chamber of Commerce, used to really go after him and say, as mayor, travel the world, and he could bring back business here. I did a travel with him, a trip to Jamaica, and I was able to see how he was treated like heads of state. Well, from the downtime of the trip, he knew that I was an avid tennis player. I knew that he was a solid tennis player. He's in his 50s, I'm in my 20s. We went to the tennis court, and he dusted me on the tennis court.
No kidding.
So he took some pity on me. He didn't talk a lot of smack. He just had that smile like, kid, try next time.
That's really
now,
interesting.
There's another one where we would do trips, and this one was out in San Francisco for the Democratic National Convention. And Jesse Jackson at the time, Walter Mondale, was hoping to become president. And Jesse Jackson figured he could be president. But I talked to him, I was alone with him one time in a room with Harry Belafonte. And I said, Mr. Jackson, it seems like the National Democrats are trying to find something for you to do. He looked at me as if to say, I have a job. They don't have to find something for me to do. So Harry Belafonte looked at me as if to say, kid, you stepped in that one.
That is really funny. You know, you've covered a lot of mayors in this city and had lots of phenomenal contacts, and people don't tell you stuff unless they trust you, and you've been trustworthy all those years.
It has to start with that, and I really have to thank the workers of all these governments and then the citizens, because they're the ones who feed you the information. Speaking of that, there was a case with Shirley Franklin, her first week in office. I got wind from some of the workers that there was a retirement party at lunchtime for one of the old sewer workers. And they decided to bring in a lady who would pop out of a cake, exotic dancer.
There you go.
She popped out of a cake. I called the mayor about it, and she said, Morris, what's the foolishness? What are you asking me about? And I said, well, look, it's lunchtime, and the lady popped out of the cake. She says, what do you want me to do about it? I said, I need your response. You just started. So she said, okay. So she literally had her person drive over to the facility. She said, I'll do the interview with you. And at that time, she did the interview. She said, it wasn't right. It's not going to happen again. And she had sense enough to know, address it,
right.
And it became a one-day story.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about all of the stories that you've covered over all of these years. Is there one that's the most memorable? I mean, a lady popping out of a cake, that's pretty memorable. But is there one that's going to stand out to you?
The Gold Club was sort of along that line,
Well,
too. Anyway,
that Gold Club, that was a whole saga, as you recall. And the City of Atlanta Police Department is still has consequences from that. It's from the Gold Club, and there's been a movie about that for folks who weren't around at the time. You literally had a nude club, and there were all these cases where people going in there they take the credit card, they'd overcharge them, and the feds got involved in everything else. But still from that, the police chief started to say, you can work at a restaurant, but no more nude clubs.
All right, now let me say, you're the best-dressed reporter in the city of Atlanta. Did you make an effort to be that, or did the Morse Diggs style just come naturally to you?
Well, I've mentioned before that I've got, it runs in my family. My mom was a seamstress, And people like the hats, right?
Right,
But
sure.
I don't like the cold. I was the coldest reporter in Georgia, too. So people do. My mom always said, before you go out to school, put a hat on your head. So I just took the fedora to another level, I guess.
And what will be Morse Diggs' retirement uniform? Do you do athleisure?
Just something to go to the workout at the Y. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. But can I say a couple of words about our new mayor? I still call him the new mayor because I've covered mayors for 8 years. Andre Dickens, I do want to say that you may not see him on television as much calling a press conference here and there, but I covered him when he was a council member. He is doing a lot, but he doesn't call the cameras out. I think of the case of the whole Cop City thing. And he literally took a weekend. He took Chief Schurbaum out there, and he talked with those residents because he wanted to give them his stance on why he was doing what he was doing. He didn't call the media for that. And so we found out about it and later got some footage from his own people. But watch him. He's got his hands full, as you guys know. Perhaps he's setting the right tone with the Year of the Youth. But he'll be someone to watch. But I just want to, if you don't see him on television every other day, it doesn't mean he's not doing something.
Right. Well, we're going to miss seeing you on television every day. Enjoy your retirement. You have earned it, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right. Thank you,
We'll miss
Russ.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, guys.
All the best to you.